Welcome back. This is Kevin Patrick with Theater Cue Player, and this is video 3. So here we are in our app. We're going to load the show that we saved previously. And here we are. Now to work on it, we're going to go into edit mode. And I want to talk about the top bar up here, the toolbar. So we've covered help before. And so, this is great for your students or for you to be able to very quickly explain what any of this stuff is. And make sure you click exit help. Nothing will work while you're in help mode. You can go over a pretty short manual. The quick start just goes through the most basic steps to get you started. And exit edit, of course, is going to take us into show mode. But we want to be in edit mode, so there we go. So we've added audio cues. I wanted to show you what happens when you need to insert a cue in between others. So if I'm on cue 1 and I add an audio cue, you'll see that it automatically numbers it to 1.1. So it auto numbers there. Now, if I'm on 1.1 and I add an audio cue, it's going to go to 1.2. If I'm in 1.1 and 1.2 already exists, then it's just going to keep adding there. You can see how things may get complicated here. So if I wanted to keep this, and I'm not going to put cues in here or anything like this, I'm just going to go to renumber cues, and we're going to change them to letters. We're going to increment them by 1. You can see this 1.1 and 1.1.1 are now just going to become whole numbers or whole letters. Let's undo all of that. So undo, Control Z works for undo. So I've got 10 or 20 layers of undo, and Control Y would redo. So we're going to undo that again. So moving along here, let's add a fade cue. So it doesn't make sense for any of the phones to fade, but this underscore, we could add a fade cue here. So I want to make sure that I have underscore selected, and I'm going to add a fade cue. Okay, it added it as C.1, that's fine. And because I had cue C selected, when I added a fade cue, it automatically targeted cue C. If I want to target a different cue, I can click right there, and I can select which cue I want to target. Okay, all of this works the same way. Auto continue, delays. Now trim and fade, that doesn't work. When you add a fade cue, it defaults to a volume of 0. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't. We're going to leave it as it is right now. And then we have the duration. It defaults to a 3-second fade, but we could change that to 5 seconds if we wanted to. We could change it to 2 seconds. We could change it to 2.45 seconds. Oh, get out of there. And of course, loop's not going to do anything either, but auto follow will. So if I come here to underscore, and then I press go on the fade and go, you could see over here in currently playing that it's fading. Let's do that one more time and go. Then watch over here on currently playing to see the fade cue so that you can see everything that's running. Let's delete this cue, this fade cue. Okay. And now let's add the fade cue here, and oh, it's going to fade cue D. I don't want that. I want it to fade cue C, and I really want it to be up here. So now I can go to reorder cues. I can drag it and drop it, or I can use the arrow keys to move the fades up and down. So So I really want that siren to be last, and I want to play the underscore, and then I want to fade it. Now, in the fade cues, when you fade to 0, it does an automatic stop. But if I just faded that to 1%, go back to QC, you can see I can't hear it because you can't really hear 1%, but the cue is still playing. Okay, so then I could add another fade cue, and see, it knows not to fade the fade cue. It's going to fade the next previous cue, and then I can fade that back up again over 3 seconds. So if we come here to underscore and fade, and it's faded, but it's still playing, and then I can fade it back up again, right? Fantastic. Let's play with pan. Okay, let's play this siren real quick. I'm going to stop pressing go over here, and instead I'm going to move to the actions button, because I can play per cue with the actions. I can fade out and I can stop. And that's always really helpful for when a student, maybe somebody gets a little spacebar happy and presses go twice. You don't have to stop all or fade all. You could stop or fade just the cue that's playing that's not supposed to be playing. So let's play the siren. Okay, now let's put the siren all the way in the left. Now let's have that siren drive past. So we're going to add a fade cue. Now here I don't want it to fade out. So I'm going to come back and make this fade cue 100. It defaults to being center. We're going to put it all the way to the right. Of course, I can put it anywhere in that area. And it makes sense because as soon as it starts playing, I want it to start moving. And so I'm going to click auto continue here. So now when I press go on the siren, it's automatically going to play the fade cue. Right? So maybe that was a little too fast. So let's add a 1 second delay to that fade cue. So now when I press go on siren, it's going to start playing. It's going to fire the fade cue at the same time. So they're going to be playing simultaneously, but the fade cue is going to count 1 second before it actually starts executing. So we get the chance for the police siren to actually get started before the fade begins. Right? Did you hear that change? Let's save it. So in the next video, we're going to talk about this waveform editor. So let's save our cue file because we made some changes. Yes, I want to replace it. Fantastic. Thanks very much, Kevin Patrick, Theater Cue Player. Email me at theatercueplayer@gmail.com.